Hi, hi. So today you probably be very confused, right? Why am I doing Spanish and sushi Japanese food together? The issue is with us in our household, we are both different culture. So sometimes I like my Chinese or Japanese style food, and LG he loves Spanish food. So in this video, I'm going to teach you or share with you my how I solve this problem. And I'm going to make two of my favorite dishes. He loves quesadilla and I love sushi. I've been craving for that. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how I prepared my this both dish like two in one using the exact same ingredient, but I'm going to do it in two different culture food. All right, so let's get started. Um, so as you can see, I am very organized here. So I have some food I already prepared, but I need to further cook them. As you guys know, my channel is a channel for mushroom. So I have actually prepared some mushroom. These are masutake that I got from last year, and I try to finish them before it is too old. So I have boiled them in the water in its own stock for at least 20 minutes, so it's already dried out. But then, if it's a mushroom like that, it doesn't really taste so much. So I would want to season it so that it tastes better. And how do I do that? So let me just move this here. So I have here over with some soy sauce, some sake, and some sesame seed oil, some dark soy sauce, and some sugar. So I'm going to pour this over. I'm going to let this simmer and cook for a while before I use them, because otherwise it doesn't really taste so much. So you want to slowly boil this or cook them for at least 5 minutes before you use them. Right now I've evenly how do you call that, mix them. So I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to turn this to number 5 and let this cook. And over here you see there is onion. These are some yellow onion that I've just fried with some olive oil, a pinch of salt, and I let them not really up to the caramelized stage. I just simply cook them in very low medium fire or gas if you're using gas. So on the induction, I'm using between number 6 and 7, and I cook them for a long bit of 20 minutes, so you get this effect. But with just salt, it's not that tasty either. So what I like to do is I like to add some. I already add some salt in here, so there is no need for you to further add anything. So if you have a sake, you can add sake too. If you have usually for the mushroom, people will add the sake, but I don't have sake at home, so I'm going to just skip that. So over here on this onion, I'm just going to lightly cook them, hoping that they will caramelize with a little bit of syrup. So now at this point, I want to just mix them. You don't want to cook them for too long, so they can somehow get a little bit of sweetness from the syrup. And you can leave this, like that, in very low heat, around number 5, and have a taste of it before you decide whether you want to continue to cook them. So I'm gonna taste it. Mm. You know, if you cook onion really slowly, they are already very sweet. So there's no need for you to add too much sugar. just let them keep warm, and then this one just briefly cook them. I'm going to increase the mushroom to 7, and I'm going to increase this one to number 6. So while this is cooking, I'm going to just come over here and show you what I have prepared for you. So Christmas is coming. You have a lot of leftover ham, right? So what are you going to do with all those leftover ham? I suggest you cut them and do them like this, because this one will give you a lot of meals. I would think that this will be enough for us today for lunch and even tonight for dinner, and maybe even for lunch tomorrow. So what I do with this ham is that I chop them into smaller tanning, we call that in Swedish, cubes, and then I'll just fry them, because ham, they are really very salty, so you really don't need to further cook them with salt. What I did was a little bit of pepper, and then I add some Korean chili pepper and just fry them for 5 minutes. It's really no need to fry them until they are crispy, because I notice if you fry them for crispy, it's very hard and it's not that tasty. So if you don't want to use olive oil, you can use just water and just boil them over very low heat for just 5 minutes. It should do the job. All right, don't overcook them. So now I'm going to put this. I hope you guys can see, because later I'm going to demonstrate here how I wrap my quesadilla. But now I'm going to do the quesadilla first, and show you how I usually like to do it with a little bit of Asian touch. So here I have the mushroom almost done, and then I have this onion is also almost done. You see, it's so nice and so shining. So now let's start on with this quesadilla. I have some leftover from last time, so I'm just going to just heat this pan up with a little bit of oil. Let me just zoom it in so you can see. Zoom it in so you can see what is going on this pan. I'm just going to just briefly heat up the pan a little bit. So I'm going to put my layers of quesadilla in here. The first layer. Okay, I think this mushroom and the onions are done. So I'm going to turn off the heat now. And I'm going to just concentrate on this one. Okay, so have a spatula with you. Make sure they are not too hot, because if it's too hot, it will burn. So what I do is that I reduce the heat a little bit more further, and then I love to put the cheese first, because you know, under the pan, right? So it's better you put the cheese on top. So if you don't want like a very flavored mushroom, you can always just put normal champignon. Okay, now I have the cheese, and then now I'm going to put my mushroom. LD doesn't like mushroom, so I'm going to just put a few. Okay. I love mushroom, and I'm gonna eat this. Okay, just a few mushroom, and then followed by the, oh, this is really hot, the onion. Okay, and then followed by the meat. I'm going to move this here. Followed by the ham. If you have some parsley, you can also add some parsley. If you don't have, it's fine to maybe add some green. I would recommend tomato because tomato will definitely melt. And then followed by the cheese. I'm a bit stingy today because I don't, this is for me. I'm gonna make one without the mushroom for LG because he doesn't like mushroom. So this is just for myself. And the reason why I add the cheese on top, I'm adding a little bit of cheese because I don't like cheese so much. So if you like, you can add some mustard. I have a sweet mustard here, so I'm just going to add just 4 flavors. Okay, and then followed by my another layer of quesadilla. So I have this one, which is really soft. Oh, this is a bit broken, but it is okay. Just press it on. Now I want to increase the heat so that I could cook them in a faster pace. So for quesadilla in Sweden here is really expensive. I remember I went to a restaurant which is in town. They have like, you know, just one piece like that. I think it was like $9 US dollars, so it was quite expensive. Okay, now it's too hot. I'm going to reduce the heat and I'm going to flip this. Hopefully this will not be, how do you call it? You can actually use what do you call a lid so that, you know, the cheese will melt faster. And I'm going to reduce the heat because I don't want to burn the bottom. So when you are putting the lid on, you are actually steaming the whole process, and the temperature inside, you see, is getting more and more cloudy. It will melt the cheese faster. Okay, so it's very quiet today. Where are you guys from? I'd like to know where you guys from. If you are from Spain or from Mexican, maybe this is not the typical kind of quesadilla you used to eat. But I can guarantee you this is going to be very delicious and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. So let's get ready with a plate. Okay, let's see if this can be flipped, whether the cheese is melted. Yeah, the cheese is slowly melting. So let's see if we can flip this, alright? Yeah, and then cover them on the other side. So remember, don't cook them for a really high heat because when it gets burned, it's going to be tasting very bitter on the bread, so it's not going to be really nice. But meantime, let me just show you. I'm going to reduce this heat a little bit so that, you know, it will steam and make the bread more softer. Meantime, I'm going to just move the camera a little bit backwards so you can see what am I doing here on my sushi. Right, so on this what do you call, on this cutting board, I'm going to make some sushi with this. There's a little bit of stain here. And here's the thing. When you're making a sushi sandwich, if you're making a sushi, I think that is fun. But if you're, I'm trying to make a sushi sandwich because it looks so cool. Right? You notice there is a shining part and a not so shining part. So this shining part, usually people use it on the back. So you're going to need to use this. So what I do is I fold this into a quarter. And then when you have the quarter, you have this line, right? So use a scissors and just cut them. Not all the way to the center, but just leave a bit. You know why later on. So let's get back to our quesadilla and see how this is going. See. I think this is done. This smells so good. Yeah, it's perfect. Now, I'm moving this. So we're going to be eating this. I'm going to cut this into smaller pieces later. So I'm going to turn off the heat and let's concentrate on the sushi sandwich. Let me put this away. So back on my sushi sandwich, which I'm going to show you, is actually it requires a little bit of thinking. Okay, when you use ingredients like these that are very loose, you want to make sure that you have them secure, and the only way to do it is by using the rice to secure them. So what I would recommend is that you put the meat first. Let's start by doing, you put the meat first like that. Because you want to be able to fold this, yeah. And then get the rice. You want to wet your hand later, and then, but before we wet our hand, I'm going to show you what I'm going to put on top. I'm going to put the egg, which I already fried. So I'm going to put one piece of egg here. All right. And then I'm going to put one piece of salad. On top of the egg. And followed by the leeks. Or what do you call that? Leg. In Swedish is leg. Onions, yeah. And then followed by the mushroom. I love mushrooms, so I'm going to put quite a bit of mushroom here. Okay, now the rice. I really hate using my hand when I cook, but I'm going to try and do this. Okay, now this is how you position the rice. Press it thick and then try to work on like a square like that. If you want to have wasabi, you can put wasabi, or you can put some sesame seed too if you like. So now all you need to do is just to flip this over to this side. You see what I mean? The ham is like coming out from the side, so you need to maybe secure them better. Make sure you cover the ham properly, and then you're going to flip it over here. Actually, seriously, I've never done this before. I've seen a lot of people done this because it's so convenient to do it, so I thought let's give this a try. And since I'm so lazy today, I don't have time to make so much stuff, so I'm going to just hold it like that, and then let's see if we can cut this. Okay, all this mess here. Let's see if we can cut this. The corner is not so nice, huh? So okay, so I'm not so good in this, but I get a sushi sandwich. Okay, this is not that easy as they shown in the YouTube channel on shorts. So, but you know, you still can pack them in the box and bring them with you. So how they do is that they pack them. Actually, before they even cut them, they wrap this thing up with a plastic like takeaway, and then after that they use a really sharp knife and cut them, so you will have really nice cut instead of like mine. My knife is not very sharp, but it is edible, I think. So let me just put this in here and wash my hands. And I'm coming back to you, don't worry. Okay. So my tortilla seems like it's better. So let's cut this up and see how it looks like, okay? I hope you are hungry. We are hungry. Let's cut the tortilla and see whether or not it is successful, and see if it is crispy or not. My knife is not very sharp today. I don't know. Maybe I'll try and use the other knife. Maybe I'll try using this bread knife. Feels like it is very crispy. Oh, okay. I didn't cut completely, so of course a knife play a very important part. See, I have my tortilla wraps or quesadilla. I hope you enjoy this video. I am going to just give a taste. If you like to cut the mushroom smaller, you can do that. Here's a take home, okay? I will give you a take home. When you're cooking, you always learn from the mistakes that you made. Like the sandwich that I made just now. Like this, right? I learned that when you are making this sandwich, you must make sure that you think ahead. Like maybe the ham, I shouldn't have cut them into smaller pieces. I should have let them come in one piece, so it is easier to flip and cut them, so it will not like fall out of the place. So the same for the egg too. I see some Japanese people, they like to do this really fancy egg, right? So actually no need. Try to fry the egg as square as possible, like using this kind of pan that they have. I think I have this somewhere. I'm going to show you how it looks like. Here. Like this kind of pan, you know? So this one, I bought them quite cheap. And it's very difficult to find this kind of pan in Sweden. So I bought this when I was in Singapore, and there's a lot of Japanese store there. So if you want a link for this, I'm going to include that in the video description. hopefully you find them useful. So you can do them like in a square. So you pour your egg in slowly, and the heat mustn't be high, okay? Because when it is high, it will just burn, and it will get this color that is burned. So slow heat with a bit of oil or vanilla, not vanilla, olive oil, and then just fry them slowly, not too thick, and then flip them. So you can use them on this sandwich. Okay, so take home is don't cut the ham, and also the rice, you know, try to like press it in and then create the corner so that your meat will not fall out. And for the quesadilla, I think the same thing also. Maybe the mushroom is a bit too big. I find that it's quite big chunk of mushroom, but if you like that, like me, so you can do. For mushroom, I don't think so you need to have like masutake. You can use like champignon, or you can use chanterelle. I think it can be very, very delicious too. For the cheese wise, I think maybe putting the mustard seed oil or the mustard sauce is very Swedish. So if you don't like the idea of having a mustard, you can always put some spicy chili or tomato salsa. It can be really nice too. But I like this to be like a simple. As you can see, I only made the onion, I made the mushroom, and I just briefly fried the ham. And this could be a lot of food for a big family, you know, and it's not that expensive. So I hope you guys hope that this is very useful tips for you. If you enjoy this video, I hope you give this a thumbs up. And if you wonder who am I, my name is SD. I am a Singaporean living in Sweden. I am a forager. I like to forage anything from the forest, whether it is medicine, whether it is tea or mushrooms. So I am really passionate about that. So if you feel like this kind of sustainable lifestyle, do follow me on my channel and share this video. I'm so grateful a lot of people have been sharing my video over the past 1 month, and the share keep going, you know, and I hope you too can share this video with your friends and family who might be interested in this kind of content. All right, so it's Sunday. It's really a lot of snow outside. Let me just give you a quick look how it looks like now outside, so you have an idea what it is like to be living here up in the north of Sweden. My kitchen is a mess, you see. Okay, I'll see you in my next. Bye bye.